Biblical end time prophecies are here. Guys, I don't know any other way to put this. What I'm seeing, and it doesn't seem like anybody else has noticed this, like on the whole of the whole of the internet, the whole of media, it really doesn't seem like anybody's putting these connections together yet. But what I'm seeing right now is evidence of biblical end times prophecy unfolding in front of us. So I'm going to share this with you guys real quick, and then I'm going to tell you what the Bible says. And again, I don't want this to be one of those videos where we're talking about prophetic things that may or may not have happened. But I'm going to just really quickly read you what the Bible says. And then I'm going to go on to the actual events that are happening on the ground. And you guys tell me, is this the prophesied biblical end times or not? So let me go real quick to the shared screen now, guys. Where are we? We are this one here. Right, so Israel-Hamas conflict, a prophetic window into end times. So I'll just read from this here, guys. Psalms 83 talks about how Israel's enemies growl and its foes rear their heads, with their leaders calling to destroy them as a nation so that Israel's name is remembered no more. Kind of feels like that situation is happening around Israel. Now, guys, listen, I'm not here to tell you who's right and wrong. I'm here to tell you what to just mirror what it says in the Bible and then look at the situation on the ground. And can we really say that this is not happening? So then if we scroll down a bit, it talks about the Battle of Armageddon. Again, can you imagine that? We're really talking about the Battle of Armageddon now. So this is the little paragraph here I want to focus on. Russia's romance with Iran. So this romance with Iran, this alliance, this partnership, this has literally come out of absolutely nowhere. And like over a year ago, when the Iranians started to supply the Russians with the Shahed drones, I said to my friends in Ukraine, I said, guys, this is biblical end time stuff. Nobody really took much notice because it's kind of like woo-woo, and it's one of those things that you pay lip service to. But guys, look at what the scripture says. A few days after Hamas invaded Israel and started the war, Pastor Greg Laurie, the senior pastor of Harvest Christian Fellowship, based in Riverside, California, which sounds like a lovely place, put on a sermon on YouTube that garnered nearly 1.5 million views. I'll try and link that to in the description below. Garnered nearly 1.5 million views in the video. He talks about the Bible predicts that Gog, or George, I'm not sure how you pronounce that, believed to be modern-day Russia, became close allies with Persia. Obviously, Persia is now Iran, and attacked Jerusalem. It's only recently that the Iranians and the Russians have developed a special connection. Laurie noted, highlighting Russia's offer to Iran of unprecedented level of military and technological support, and Iran agreeing to sell drones and bullets and mortar shells to Russia. Now, the actual partnership between Iran and Russia has grown exponentially since this article was wrote. You've now got a situation where Russia's apparently given the nuclear secrets to Iran. You've got this military alliance that's just become thicker and thicker and thicker. You've not only got Iran supplying Russia with long-range strike drones, but you've now got the situation where Iran is supplying Russia with long-range ballistic missiles. So this partnership could never be stronger, and it's grown out of, I guess, happenstance. But the reality is, whether we point the finger at somebody else is to blame, or these guys are to blame, and these guys shouldn't have done this, and it's this guy's fault, it doesn't matter. The fact is, it's happening, it's real, and it's there in real time. So what I'm going to go with now, guys, is an article to what's actually happening on the ground, and this is going to where I feel this is going to result. And I don't see any other way that this can't end in said biblical end times prophecy coming true. So where are we? Let me share this one with you now, guys. So let me close that. We don't want that popping up. Humiliation for Putin as Israel devastates Russian airbase in Syria with missile attack. So the reports are a little bit sketchy, but this has been confirmed now by several different outlets. I'll put all those links in the description below. But Israel has basically taken out I'll read it. Israel has reportedly struck a Russian airbase in Syria, causing a huge fire to break out. 30 missiles are reported to have struck down on, I'm not going to attempt to pronounce that word, airbase in the early hours of Thursday morning. So the early hours of this morning. The IDF has not claimed responsibility for the attack. The strike lasted 45 minutes and believed to have been carried out by naval warships. So this was an attack on this airbase itself. This was where a lot of the munitions for Russia were given by the Iranians. This is what I'm getting from the media. A lot of the munitions that were, I think, being sold to the Russians by the Iranians. Here it is, guys, look. He said the attack was connected to the delivery of Iranian cargo to the airbase in recent days. So this airbase takes Iranian cargo and it is then flown to Russia we can only speculate for the war in Ukraine. So you see, guys, these are literally things now that have been prophesied in the Bible. And I never thought I'd be somebody who's actually sat here with a straight face talking about this. But you can't help but see these connections. You can't help but make these connections. Now, I know what some people will be saying. They'll be saying, oh, but the Israelis shouldn't have done this. And, and the Palestinians have been living in an open air prison. And, and they'll give all these arguments. All those arguments are for another time. What I'm talking about right now is we have to look at the reality of the situation, which is things that were prophesied in the Bible, like, I don't know, thousands of years ago, maybe written in the Dead Sea Scrolls, things that were prophesied about in the Bible are actually happening in real time. And we have got front row seats to Armageddon, and we're watching it in HD. It's absolutely insane, the stuff that's happening right now. In my previous videos today, I've been a little bit melancholy today. Those of you who've been watching my channel, I've known these days have been coming for a long time, and now I just don't see any way back. I really don't. There's no going back to what we've, to the way we were 2018, 2019. Those days are gone. They're not coming back. They're over. And, God forbid if we could go back to the 90s when everything was cool in the 90s. And it just seems to me that it's just, I think more and more people now are coming to acceptance of what is happening. And these biblical things, guys, tell me what you think in the comments. Am I wrong? Am I just making connections now and they're not really there? Did the Israelis just take out a huge load of cargo around a Russian airbase? Did that just happen? I don't know. Maybe it didn't happen. Maybe these articles are all fake news. I don't know. Does it say in the Bible that Gog or Jog, however you pronounce it, when they attack Russia, that will be, biblical end times? We're talking about battles of Armageddon now. It's absolutely insane what's happening in the world. There really isn't any way back. I've said it in a few videos, now that the things that are happening, there isn't a way back. And when we look back at these in like 10, 20, 30 years time, we'll look and we'll say, yes, the Third World War, it started with the invasion of Ukraine in 2014. And, some people will argue that, Georgia, the Russian invasion of Georgia, that was the pretext for it. Like we look back at the Second World War now, and we say, well, when the Japanese invaded Manchuria, when the Spanish Civil War happened, they were the precursors to the Second World War because, all these people got to test their weapons and test their munitions. And then, we kind of don't think the Second World War started until 1939. But if you look back through history, the years preceding 1939, you'll see a whole host of events happening. And obviously, I don't know how you'd find this information, but I can pretty much guarantee that if you lived in those times, there'll have been people with a normalcy bias, and they'll be thinking, oh, it's just nothing, it'll blow over in time. Oh, it's just nothing, it's going to blow over in time. And you know, you could probably say that about the First World War as well, but the reality is we're not living in normal times right now. The conflict in the Middle East, it's just going to get worse. The Israelis will respond to this in the context that they will respond to the Iranian strike. They have to do. They're duty bound, and whether you think that's right or wrong, it kind of doesn't even matter at this point. All that you guys need to do is realize that it's happening. You know, it's happening in HD, and we have front row tickets to Armageddon. Anyway, guys, I'm going to mag to grid now. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you guys have not done so already. Don't forget, tomorrow night, Friday the, 4th? It'll be the 4th, yeah. Friday the 4th, we're going to be going live. We're going to be doing a giveaway for you guys who are on the other platform. Going to be wild, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I'm going to get you guys another video later, or back to grid or something.